each order. And then we go to minutes in the last meeting.
Now, public hearing.
It's on his envelope. It's on the envelope right there. His agenda is right on the envelope.
I know. All right, so you have to open the public hearing for the final plan review for Main Woods and Waters Red, you misspelled Barn
Okay.
Road subdivision.
The public hearing on the Red Barn Road subdivision.
Now you start taking questions. And then,
GP, right?
yeah, and anybody here?
I see a reporter back there.
Yes, I made it.
You are unmuted.
Questions, comments?
You have any questions?
I do not.
Hey, Richard.
Can we close the public hearing? Nobody? Okay. Close the public hearing.
Hearing is now closed. Officially.
We do have Margaret on the phone. Margaret's on by phone.
Richard, can you email me the link?
Thank you.
That was the quickest public hearing I've ever been to. Okay. So now we're gonna do the final plan review.
Final plan review of Main Woods and Water LLC Red Barn subdivision, portion of map 3, lot 14.
Either one. All right, see this, yeah, you put the findings of that. Richard just told me that we don't need a checklist because it's all on here.
So can you just take us through the adjustments that you've made from the last meeting to this meeting?
Sure. There are only a few. So the subdivision lots were renumbered due to the butter conveyance. So there's 6 lots in the subdivision. Revised covenant number 5, talked when we discuss allowing tree cutting within the 75 feet area for, people that have solar exposure to the property, but also included a 75-foot line on the plan showing that there should be no construction of a home within that area, but no other restrictions other than that. We also changed one lot line here between lots 2 and 3. Very slight change, about 25 feet, just so in the field, the line fell along the wood line. So it's 5 feet in the field. We don't want that. And besides that, we also included the location of the foundation, which falls within, this is an old barn foundation. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but it's on Red Barn Road. That was noted in response from the Historic Commission.
Yeah.
So they wanted an area around that to be protected, was their recommendation. So that fell within the 75-foot buffer, so that worked out for everyone.
So whoever buys that lot does not own that.
They do own it, and the Historic Commission's suggestion was to have a 25-foot buffer for there to be no construction in that area. Where it falls, this 75-foot setback for the no build is already in that area.
Okay.
So go in with their suggestion. which is-
How deep is that foundation?
I don't, eight, 6, 8 feet maybe, something like that. You familiar with that thing? Yeah, like that.
Something that somebody could fall into and hurt themselves.
Played in there a lot. Yes, he fell there himself. I survived.
Other than that, those were the only slight adjustments since last meeting.
Hey, Richard? Richard?
I'm sorry, what lot number is that on?
That is on lot 2.
You included a letter from Dr. Leah Smith.
Yep, from the Maine Historic Preservation.
Yes.
I also included an additional well driller letter.
So that-
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a signed copy by the well driller, so.
Richard?
And I also included a close up version of the beginning with habitat maps, which shows all the scenic natural areas, wildlife habitat. And outline approximate location of the subdivision lots.
Okay. Do you want to just start reading this and checking them off or what?
Yeah, we technically should take a motion on each of those items.
Okay, you want me to start reading? Or do you want to do it?
No? Both, I mean, if everybody can just do it and make motion going around, and then it's either gonna be the motion should either be in compliance or not relevant. If it's not in compliance, you can't make a negative motion, so you don't want to say it's not in compliance and vote on that. You want to say it's in compliance, or it's not relevant. And so I kind of went through in terms of relevance, non-relevant, in compliance, based on your checklist review. So I put that here, and then I drafted the comments to justify your position. But that's just my interpretation of it. If you want to modify any of the language that's in the draft findings of fact, that's all your pleasure. If you want to see something taken away, changed, or added.
Well, I'm gonna make a motion that number 1 is in compliance.
A second.
All in favor? All opposed?
Oh. Margaret?
I can't really hear anybody. Can Richard not hear me?
She's really good at Google.
Are you here, Margaret, to be able to talk?
I'm here.
She's here, but not. Yeah, she's able to talk, so no vote.
A no vote?
A non-vote.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say. All right, so you.
All in favor?
Okay,
All opposed? Carried. Proposed subdivision will not result in undue water or air pollution. Findings were non-relevant.
okay, I'll make a motion that number 2 is not relevant.
All in favor?
This, who seconded?
I didn't,
Matt.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
It'd be louder. It used to be loud all day, so. I didn't-
Okay, all in favor, good, well, 41.
Margaret voting?
I don't have any audio inbound from her.
Is there any messaging coming through?
Number 3, the proposed subdivision has sufficient water available for the reasonable needs of the subdivision in compliance. Exhibit 12 of the preliminary plan application supporting compliance. We just received a letter from well driller. Third lane, there should be plenty of water.
I mean, you move and I'll second it.
Okay, so I make a motion that we find number 3 in compliance.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Okay.
All opposed? Number 4, the proposed subdivision will not cause an unreasonable burden on existing municipal or private water supply if one is to be used. Findings in compliance.
Yeah, what he's noted there is how we voted the last time, so you don't have to read all that. Unless it's something that
Makes me feel important.
I'm not here to support your ego. All right.
Make a motion that we find number 4 in compliance.
Okay. And
Number 5 is
no,
not
we have to
relevant.
take a vote.
Oh, all in favor? All opposed?
Was there anybody?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Number 6,
No, read number 5. And then read out finding. So we can,
the proposed subdivision will not cause unreasonable soil erosion or a reduction in the land's capacity to hold water so that dangerous or unhealthy condition results. The findings were non-relevant. Motion,
Yeah, make a motion to find number 5 as not relevant.
I will second that.
all in favor? Number 6, the proposed subdivision will not cause unreasonable highway or public road congestion or unsafe conditions with respect to use of highways or public roads existing or proposed. The findings were, they were in compliance.
Move that we find number 6 in compliance.
All in favor? Number 7, the proposed subdivision will provide for adequate sewage waste disposal and will not cause an unreasonable burden on municipal services if town services are used. The findings were not relevant.
I make a motion that we find number 7 as not relevant.
Second that motion.
All right.
All in favor? Number 8, the proposed subdivision will not cause an unreasonable burden on the town's ability to dispose of solid waste if town services are used. Findings were not relevant.
I'll make a motion to say that it's not relevant.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Number 9, the proposed subdivision will not have an undue adverse effect on historic sites, archaeological sites, or significant wildlife habitat as identified by the Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife. The findings were in compliance.
I'll make a motion to find it in compliance.
All in favor? Number 10, the proposed subdivision conforms with all applicable standards and requirements of the subdivision ordinance, comprehensive plan, and other local ordinances. The findings were in compliance.
I'll make a motion on that in compliance.
I'll second it.
Okay.
All in favor? Number 11. The subdivider has adequate financial and technical capacity to meet all the review criteria, standards, and requirements contained in the subdivision ordinance. The findings were in compliance.
I will make a motion that this one is in compliance.
I will second it. And all in favor? Number 12, when situated entirely or partially within the watershed of any pond or lake, or within 250 feet of any wetland, great pond or river as defined in Title 38, Chapter 3, Subchapter 1, Article 2B, the proposed subdivision will not adversely affect the quality of that body of water or unreasonably affect the shoreline of that body of water. The findings were not relevant.
I make a motion that we find this not relevant.
I'll second.
All in favor? Number 13, the proposed subdivision will not, alone or in conjunction with existing activities, adversely affect the quality or quantity of groundwater. The findings were in compliance.
I'll make a motion on 13. Last.
Second.
All in favor?
Yeah. Find a good community.
Yeah, you're giving me finger cramps. Number 14. Based on Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, flood boundary and floodway map and flood insurance rate maps firm, information is presented as to whether the subdivision is in a flood prone area. If the subdivision or any part of it is in such an area, the plan shall require that principal structures in the subdivision will be constructed with the lowest floor, including the basement, at least 1 foot above the 100-year flood elevation. The findings were in compliance. I make a motion to accept it as in compliance.
I will second it.
All in favor?
Yeah, flood up there, you might as well catch it all in it.
Right.
Number 15. All freshwater wetlands within the proposed subdivision must be identified on any map submitted as part of the application. All wetlands shall be preserved to the greatest extent practical. The findings were in compliance.
I'll make a motion to find.
I'll second it. All in favor? Number 16. All rivers and streams or brooks within or abutting the proposed subdivision has been identified. All rivers, streams, or brooks shall be protected from any adverse development impact. Findings were in compliance. Make a motion to accept it as in compliance. All in favor? Number 17. The proposed subdivision provides for adequate stormwater management. The findings were non-relevant.
Make a motion to order 17. Relevant.
Second it. All in favor? Number 18. If any lots in the subdivision have frontage on a river, stream, brook, great pond, or wetland, none of the lots created within the subdivision shall have a lot depth to shore frontage ratio greater than 5:1. The findings were not relevant.
I make a motion that this is not relevant.
All in favor? Number 19, the long-term cumulative effect of the proposed subdivision will not unreasonably increase the Great Pond phosphorus concentration during the construction phase and life of the proposed subdivision. The findings were not relevant.
I'll make a motion that number 19 is not relevant.
Second.
All in favor? Number 20, for any subdivision that crosses municipal boundaries, the proposed subdivision will not cause unreasonable traffic congestion or unsafe conditions with respect to the use of existing public ways in an adjoining municipality when which part of the subdivision is located. The findings were not relevant.
Make a motion to accept this is not relevant.
I'll second. All in favor?
I have a question, just out of interest, though, when they say that 5-to-1 ratio in terms of shoreline front, what does that mean? There's
Like width
width versus depth.
length. Yeah.
Okay.
Question. That foundation, is that something that, even though it's part of the subdivision, will the DD be able to go up and view it?
It is, private property, I guess, it's not an easement or.
Because it's a historical thing. I mean,
It was just identified as something where some sort of historical significance.
there was a pastor's home or something like that.
Yeah, there's an old family they thought lived there, some sort of significance in the area. So kind of
I know typically, like, having been in contact with the historic preservation commission, what they're worried about. Yeah, it could be historical relevance, and I mean, so if they ever decide, like, they can ask them an archaeological dig around it. I think the family owns the property to keep the stuff that's there. I think it's such how it works. But
And they did send our archaeologists out there to dig around. They didn't find anything more significant than just what was in the letter.
Are we ready to make a vote on approval of this? Okay, I'll make a motion that we vote to approve this subdivision application.
I second that.
All in favor?
Okay, now what?
We should have a motion to accept or reject, or a motion to accept, and then if you don't like it, reject the covenants as presented in the final plan submission.
Oh, okay. Right.
That's the second to last page of the new deck. Or just the last page of the new deck.
I will make a motion to approve the covenant of the subdivision.
Second that.
All in favor?
I feel like I'm living in this subdivision. We dealt with it so much. Okay, what next? Do we have to make a motion to sign the findings of fact?
No, because that's gonna be. That's already what you've done. You've,
Okay.
it says based on. I'm checking the appeal period for him
Okay.
so that I can finalize that. We will need to sign the copy, those finals that you'd like.
Those are final.
Okay, so if we could sign those, he's responsible for submitting those to the registry of deeds.
I can't remember Richard now, none of this falls back on the town of North Fork, right?
No.
Nope.
The town could use that as a reason to deny a building permit,
Okay,
but not typically enforce.
okay.
Is there a full size? We have to have what, 3 Mylars and a paper?
Yeah, so I didn't send them those to you intentionally, even though I had them, because I figured we could use those.
Yeah.
So, and there are no Mylars anymore.
Oh, really?
Nope.
Wow. Well, that's easier. We don't have to have those special pens to sign. Okay, so do we need a motion to sign these? I'll make a motion. to sign The final design for this subdivision.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Best if John, Mr. Chairman, you sign first on top. If you just sign. Next person can go, just so all the signatures are the same. order. The date. Yeah. October 14, 10, 14.
Oh, yeah.
Richard, you want to hold on to a signed copy of the plan I imagine?
Yeah, yeah. That would be good. I mean, if we've got enough, I'll take 2. If we don't, that's fine as well.
They don't have to be registered first.
He's responsible for that. And then I don't need the registered copy back because we can access it online.
I will tell you this much, that giant speed bump, that cut down on some serious.
I'll bet.
Um,
So right now I'm doing fifth, sixth, and seventh. I've done high school. This is my first small amount Friday nights. Friday nights. The first game this year, I wanted to practice at the top for 5 minutes. Like college.
This is the findings of facts concluded and notice of decision. Committee finds it set up on the last page.
Around some office or whatever, same field. All in control. Yeah. So. I've been around for.
These are the findings of fact that we just went through and updated the votes. If I can just get you guys to sign and place on the back page of each.
Back to each.
Please.
So just a non-vote.
That's why we're voting it. She said that she tried to speak with us. She sent me a series of emails, that she didn't have a link, so I've sent her the link, but. She said she could hear us, but we couldn't hear her, and she could barely hear us. There's only so much I could do. Good one.
All those signatures, I really feel important now.
Good.
Um,
Didn't even have to work at it.
It's coming in. That's what all they're good for. Pull that out.
Roll call. That was.
Yeah.
That's right.
Signing amendments, that's the question.
That's what we went through tonight, and then the one that I already gave you is the full summary of everything.
That's it. Three of them.
Yep. So the next thing are your minutes from September 14th.
I move that we accept the minutes as written. from 14.
All in favor?
Does the board have any new business? Does the board have any other business?
How's the
Survey?
survey going?
Look right now. That will be on next month's meeting if you have a need for a meeting next month.
The other subdivision that could still be on next month's meeting.
Yeah, so the other subdivision had submitted me an incomplete application on several occasions. And so then I recompiled it in, a cohesive order and told them that they needed to present 7 complete copies that were consistent. And they weren't happy with that in the timeline. So I offered them to just come to you with whatever they'd like to submit and let you folks review that. And so I haven't heard anything back, but I spent a lot of time putting we were all laid out all over these tables, trying to put it together so that we knew what we needed. And then I put together, I think, a 3-page document. This is what you're missing, this is what you need and how you fulfill that. So I put a lot of time in to try to make it happen for them. And the timeline, I think, was the issue. But there's nothing I can do about that. So as of right now, the survey has 165 responses. Of those, only 6 people are from out of Norwich, non-residents. 86% of those responding said that they do like the digital electronic signboard. And only 41% favor a digital sign ordinance as opposed to 58. 59 opposed to development of an ordinance. And that's where we are today.
So it's 59% in favor and 41%.
59% are in opposition to the development of an ordinance. They don't want an ordinance. And I think very likely you'll see that when we see these comments, which I'll get to you, I'll roll them up and take care of the duplicates and tally them out for you, that you'll see that people just don't want regulation.
Yeah.
That's the general tone of what I'm getting. So,
And I fully understand that because they really tried to pass some serious ordinances in this town. There's one of the, almost 300 pages?
I don't know. That was
That
before
was
me.
before your day.
So if the board doesn't have any other business, the only other item that I have is your next regular meeting is scheduled for the 11th of November, which is a holiday. You could move it the day before if necessary. It would be Wednesday, the 10th. That's the second Wednesday of the month.
But as of right now,
We have no business. But it's nice to have that deadline if we do have the subdivision application in a 30-day window to have something on the calendar for them.
But isn't that also the night the selectmen meet?
No, that's the off Wednesday.
all right, so that gives everybody.
That was fine.
Okay.
Make a motion.
So we can use business for us.
Yep, we'll get that out the week before.
Okay.
Okay, that works.
Okay,
Second.
second. Okay.
All in favor? Go.
And if there is no other business, then
Me,
it is a motion to
I'm
adjourn.
gonna have an ego so big tonight.
Second.
You've got a motion to adjourn in a second. Mike and
Oh, they
Matt.
both did?
Yep.
I'll mess it around.
Thank you.